Hello, guys, and welcome to another podcast. And this time is podcast lucky number 13. I forgot. I have with me Lazule, like always.
Hello, guys. We need more guests for this, honestly, but it's
Yeah,
fair that it's always me because I'm the one that is more in contact with Andreas, so I can sync in my schedule with his, so we can get to make this podcast.
and I mean, like we always say, it's open to anyone. Just message us. You could message me or Lazule, and we can get
Yeah,
it, you know.
we can get it done. We can set something up, a date and everything.
Yeah. But do you want to start off with video games, or how do you?
Yeah, yeah. The current setup that you have is really good in my opinion.
All right.
Um, well, no, actually, let's do something a bit different, okay?
All right.
I want to talk why you haven't made that video of the Pokemon tier list because I would like to watch it. You have demand for that video.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say. The
Okay.
the, the Pokemon seasons tier list. I want to watch that so freaking bad.
Yeah, because last year in 2021, I watched every single Pokemon episode that have ever been produced. I think it was over 1,100 episodes or something. That's how many
Yeah,
episodes of Pokemon I watched last year. And I was
yeah, it's
planning
fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I was planning on doing the tier list at the end of the year. Pokemon Journeys, which is the current Pokemon season, or Pokemon series, is about to end. I think there's only like maybe 15 to 20 more episodes. And it really feels like this is going to be the end of Ash's story in the Pokemon because of everything that's happening. He has the best Pokemon team he's ever had. If you look at the type of Pokemon he has, he's not trying to be a champion of a region. This is like the world championship. All the best trainers from all the regions are there, and he's getting up and up and up. He's like in the top 10 or something, I think, at the moment.
Yeah,
And he also has like a semi-protagonist called Go with him. And Ash has really taken the role of like a mentor this season. You know,
instead of totally the main character, he's still the main character, but
yeah,
that
but
might change.
but he's not the one who has things explained to him all the time. You know, he's the
He-
one who's showing. Like he's way more mature. Let's say that, and he's like
That's good. Yeah.
he's explaining things, and he's like really competent. Like it's kind of like, yeah, you have won how many gym badges? You've been in the Elite Force, not the Elite Four, there are like the regional championships so many times. You even won the last one. Like he won in Alola. And now it's like the best trainers, like the elite, not just Elite Four members, what they call the champions of the regions. Like he's about to probably fight Cynthia and all that type of shit.
Okay. I'll the champs. Steven, Cynthia.
Yeah, I don't
All
think
that.
I don't think I think the only champ in this tournament is Cynthia.
By the way, even Gary or something like that. Like, is
Yeah,
Gary
no,
going to return?
Gary has returned, but he's no longer a Pokemon trainer. He's like a
Yeah.
researcher.
Yeah, he's like Oak. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that,
and
that was his grandfather or something like that.
yeah,
Like his uncle. I don't know.
and Gary doesn't really have much with Ash. It's more of Go, like the other protagonist.
I like it, Gary. He should like make a comeback.
To me,
Not as
I'm
not
kind of
not.
like, I want this season to be the last that they do of like bringing back from other, like the next season that happens. I want it to be completely new. I want new characters. I want That's what I want. I want them to do like a reset. No more Ash. No more. No more Go. Whatever. I want completely new characters, and I want to follow their journey.
Yeah, that would be dope. So yeah, that's all that you're waiting for, right? For the tier list to make it, and that's it. You want them to end producing the episodes, and then you will make the tier list.
Yeah, at least I want them to end this season that's happening, since I believe it's Ash's last season. If it isn't, and also I think if it isn't, then I'm gonna be like, all right, Journeys is absolute fucking trash. Because at the moment, if I would have done the tier list back in 2021, I would have put Journeys like 7 out of 9, you know. But
kind of like my rating of Elden Ring. You're going to hear from that later.
Yeah, but the longer it's gone, the lower it gets. So at the moment, I would say Journeys like a 5 out of 9. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just completely in the middle. Depending on how it ends, it could get like a 6 out of 9, maybe even a 7 out of 9 if it's like super, super good, the last 20 episodes.
Yeah.
Or it could get lower. So that's what I'm waiting for before I do this completely splurgy. And it's not going to be like a super detailed video, whatever. It's just going to be a tier list.
But, it's very, if they are fast, if they are shorter than 15 minutes, okay, that's better, or like 13 minutes, something like that. What it was, a lot of people skip to the end of tier lists anyway, just to see like, you know, the list itself, right? Anyway, how many episodes they are producing, like a week or a month? Because that is important, you know. It's going to dictate how fast.
Yeah. It depends.
How soon you can make that tier list?
It depends. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 6, it seems. I would say on average it's 4 episodes a month.
That's good.
Like once a week. Like one series consists of 3 seasons, basically, often. Which tends to be around, 130 to 150 episodes. Sometimes it's been like 120. Like the Pokemon series, like every generations have like different number of episodes.
And what is the current party that Ash has right now?
It's just Pokemon. Ash and Go. Oh, you mean Pokemon?
The Pokemon themselves.
He has Pikachu, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
He has Lucario.
Oh, that's cool.
He has Gengar.
Dope.
He has Dragonite. He has Surfetch'd.
A lot of Season 1 Pokemon.
Yeah. Four Season 1s. Then he has Surfetch'd. And Dracofish.
I don't know that one, but I know that it is from the lastest generation, right?
Surfetch'd.
The one that is in Britain and shit, you know.
Yeah, Surfetch'd and Dracofish are the last of the newest season, or the newest generation. But yeah, and also that's why I think this is also going to be like the last, not only because of how they're good doing the story, but also the fact that pretty much all of Ash's Pokemon are Generation 1, you know, where he came from. Yeah. Like Kanto.
From Kanto, yeah.
And then he has like 2 from the new, new generation.
The new region. Okay, the one that is based on Britain and all that. By the way, is Hop in the anime? The stupid loser kid and his big brother is the champion.
Yeah, his big brother. Yeah, Leon is there, but not Hop.
Oh, damn! He made it into the anime. I still have to play that game. Maybe on emulator on Juice or something like that. I will play it one day.
Yeah.
It's way too easy though. That Pokemon game, the lastest one, it is way too freaking easy. Last Pokemon game that is mainline, right? Because the newest one sucks. The one that is like Breath of the Wild is so freaking boring.
Oh yeah, I haven't played that one at all. I mean, Sword and Shield, I played up to like the 3rd gym.
In Yuzu, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
And to me, the game was like, I would say it probably is one of the harder games, but The way I
Really?
play is that I make sure that I'm not over-leveled. If a Pokemon start, I always make sure that I'm like 1 or 2 levels below the gym leader.
Yeah.
So if my Pokemon start getting up in level, I just switch them out for other Pokemon, you know. And I don't look anything up, so I don't look up what type of gym I'm up against or what Pokemon they have. If a gym, I always go into gyms with like 3 Pokemon in the first time. And then if I say, okay, this gym leader has 2 Pokemon or this gym leader has 4 Pokemon, if I lose, I switch up my team. Okay, the gym leader has 2 Pokemon, then I'll only use 2 Pokemon. You know? So I put these restrictions on myself to try and make it, you know, more enjoyable for me. Because just steamrolling is not like fun for me.
Yeah, I agree, especially for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Because once you understand those games, they are not meant to be hard. They are meant to be pleasant, and that's it.
Yeah.
Which is good. That is good game design. Games shouldn't be designed to be the hardest always. Okay.
Yeah. So in my opinion, I would say the Pokemon games are just getting better because of the, you know, like the AI is getting smarter, and they're making it.
Then I have to try that game.
And they are making it. What can I say? They are making the games like you don't have to grind, you don't have to do this, blah blah blah. You know, like
yeah, the boring shit, the boring stuff.
The only thing that means is that if you were to play it like you would play like old Pokemon, your Pokemon are gonna be like super over leveled, and then you're gonna steamroll everything. So you kind of have to put restrictions on yourself.
The most important question here, though, is why the hell are you not recording it? I would watch that, Andreas. So.
What did you say?
So, why are you not recording that gameplay, your playthrough of that game? I would like to watch that.
Oh, because when I watch Pokemon, I kind of like play a little as well.
Okay. So you want to set time limits on yourself, you know, of recording and all that. You want to enjoy it at your own pace, you know, like completely, right?
Yeah, you know,
That's what you're saying. Okay.
I mean, it's been months since I last played the game. Like, I stopped playing the game. But
you want to leave the character AFK, you know, sometimes, and then return and continue playing the game and stuff like that. Things that are not good for the camera, basically.
Yeah, and not only that, it's the fact that I don't play just the game. I play it when I watch the movie or whatever. It's kind of like a multitask thing that I do with that.
Okay. Like with a podcast. Okay, yeah. I get
it. But I'm completely open with doing a let's play of a Pokemon game. But I think the 3D Pokemon games, like a Pokemon game that isn't like super long, kind of like how the Colosseum games were. Like I think they were like the perfect let's play length.
Yeah, I agree. They're really good. They're my favorite for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to move on to Elden Ring, okay? Elden Cringe. My criticisms that I have with it and all that stuff, you know. I've been playing the cracked version of Elden Ring, so I'm on patch 1.02, which has really fucking OP shit on it, right? For example, Great Shield starts super good on that patch, for example. And they still are, by the way. The nerfs didn't hurt them so much. But the problem that I have with the beef that I have with the game mainly is not the gameplay itself, even though most of its gameplay is basically Dark Souls 3, honestly. It's the same engine. You can feel it like it's the same way. Everything that works in Dark Souls 3 works in this game. You start with a lot of freaking rolls, you know, from basic stamina, all that shit. But my main problem is that it has a very, very similar story to Dark Souls. You know, that you have a decaying world, right? Where at the end you get to fight God and shit, you know, and you become the God that fixes the world, or you can choose to destroy it and shit. And it's the same thing, but it also has some elements from Bloodborne, which is that is the interesting part of the game.
I mean,
but
I don't know anything of this. Like I haven't followed anything of Elden Ring, and I have never played Bloodborne. So to me,
You will like the Lovecraftian Eldritch monster elements from Bloodborne that they put into Elden Ring. Basically, the gods, they are outer gods, right? Like Cthulhu and that shit, you know.
Okay.
Cthulhu is actually not an outer god, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
there is some eldritch monsters out in space and shit that bring their concepts into this world, into the lands between. It's called, okay. It's not called Lordran or Dran Lake and shit. This world is called the lands between. So that concept for me, it's like it was not that bad. Okay, it was the Dark Souls one. That the plot is way too samey. Okay, you are tarnished. Okay, instead of the
instead of hollow or whatever.
or yeah, like the action one.
Yeah.
Or the chosen undead and shit. You know, or the bearer of the curse.
Yeah.
And what you do is the same. You follow the same line, right? You go from point B to point A. You kill these fucking bosses. The world is open now. But this is not exactly a good point. We already spoke about that. You know, big does not mean better.
Yeah.
Because basically, do you remember that fucking annoying fucking swamp level in Dark Souls 3, where you have to go with quick step, you know, moving around the fucking the pool of poison and shit?
No, I don't.
Yeah, where
But it sounds horrific, but I don't remember it.
Maybe you forgot about it because it was so fucking unfun. Okay, but
Yeah,
you
I
played
mean,
through it.
I barely
Much.
remember anything from Dark Souls 3 other than I would rather
Yeah.
play Dark Souls 1. Kind of like,
Yeah, exactly.
that's what I remember from Dark Souls 3, which is
Because
like-
Dark Souls 3 was trying to be a fucking rearrange of Dark Souls 1, actually. You know, it even has an Orlando. Do you remember that?
yes,
An
yeah,
Orlando
I
is in the
think,
game,
yes,
you know, straight up.
yes, I think so. I think
But
I
it's
remember
like
that.
it's a snowy area, okay, instead of being an Orlando, you know, with the sun, you know, behind and shit.
Yeah. And it was like a bridge with a monster on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, with like a wolf monster weird thing, you know, that
Yeah.
looks like God's armor from Berserk and shit. Uh, but yeah, you know, it is like that, you know. The game feels way too freaking open, and sometimes you even get lost. Okay, like you don't know what to do else. You know, it's the kind of getting it's the kind of unfun aspect of getting lost. You know that you know what the fuck to do next. I preferred Metroidvania. What they should have done is a bigger Metroidvania game. That's it. But whatever. I would say that the early game is more fun than the late game because in the late game, not only everything becomes more arbitrary because you have become much more fucking powerful, but it gets repetitive because one of the main things that I hate the most about Elden Ring is that freaking the repeat bosses, dude. The repeat bosses way too fucking much, man. Uh, you fight the same fucking three sentinels that have the same moveset as the fucking asylum demons and shit from Dark Souls. By the way,
Yeah,
and
that was one thing I also didn't like about Dark Souls 1, is that you basically fought the silent demon, was it 3 times, or was it?
yeah, you fight him 3 times. Here you basically fight him 7 times, some shit like that. I'm not even
Jesus
kidding.
Christ,
Or
fuck
8.
that.
Or 8. They are optional, to be fair. They are fucking optional bosses. You don't have to fucking
yeah.
fight them, but it's really fucking annoying how many times bosses repeat. You fight the same dragon like fucking 6 times and shit. You do the same fucking Knight Cavalry fight like 6 times as well. You know, there is a lot of bosses that repeat so freaking much in this game. And they are not even like that hard. They're just annoying because they spike them up. It is you're fighting the same moveset, but there's their stats, right? They have a fucking their fucking HP times 10 and their attack times 10 and shit.
Okay,
Those
so
are
it's the same fight, just more HP and more damage.
yeah, it's like in Skyrim or Fallout when you put like fucking a very hard difficulty.
Yeah.
They become like bullet sponges and it's very annoying to fight them because all that happens is that they move sliders around. That is like the most fucking artificial difficulty ever.
Yeah.
It's not the move, so it's not the eye of the fucking the enemy and shit. It's just the fucking attack and the HP, you know. And that's it.
I understand.
And they two-shot you, you know, they kill you in 2 hits and you kill them in 100 fucking hits, you know, it's annoying. You have to use poison and shit like that and stall them out. I already recorded fucking footage from everything that I'm saying, by the way. And I'm going to make a video about that, after I finish the game, because it's going to take a long fucking time because the game is so fucking long. So I'm going to make a video, a criticism, a proper fucking criticism of Elden Ring.
That's a video I would like to see. Like a video from Lazule. That would be fun.
I need to make the guide first. The guide will be super fucking simple. Maybe I get that done in like 1 week and shit, or less.
Yeah, and then the guide would be good, like script for you to remember then.
After this recording, I'm going to record the footage for about what to do early game to get really fucking OP. For a noob like you, okay? In case that you buy the game, 2 years after and shit. I want you to remember that video.
Alright. I mean, for me, like, I wouldn't probably watch... I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it. If you put it up, I'm gonna watch it. But by the time I play the game, I'm probably gonna forget. Or at least I hope I forget all about that. And also, I probably wouldn't even follow it. Even if I remembered, I'm gonna watch the video. But I'm not... Even if I remembered it, I probably wouldn't follow it. Due to the fact that...
But it is some knowledge that you can follow vaguely at least.
Yeah.
That helps.
Because I don't really want to be like super overpowered or whatever,
It's not you. It's not that you become super overpowered. It's just like an option. Like if a boss is filtering you with too much bullshit, okay, with grabs and shit,
then that's good.
Then you can do that. You can do that. You have that option, okay, because you know now what to do to get powerful really fucking quickly early game. If you get gate kept in the late game, okay, that's fair. Okay, you will just have to eat that up, and that's it. But early game, there are ways around it. Okay, it's what I'm trying to say in this video. Is what I'm going to say in that video. Because some people claim that Elden Ring is way too hard, and no, and not at all. I was thinking that it was too easy because there is an area in the game that is called Dragon Barrow, and the levels in the monsters, in that area are level 90. And you can get to grind them if you wanted, okay? They give like 1k souls each, and they are super easy to stagger and shit, so you can level up super fucking quickly in that place. And you can also get a lot of runes, the souls are called runes in this game.
Alright.
And you can get a lot of those items that you can get portable souls, right? Like in Dark Souls. Stuff like that. You can level up super freaking
Yeah, so like good farming areas.
Yeah, good farming areas, good fucking portable souls, items that you can pick up around that area. You can pick up a super mega rune, okay, like Soul of the Great Hero in Dark Souls, right? That gives you like 50k souls and shit, super early game. There are some easy bosses, okay. The bosses there are fucking spike it up the fuck out. It's fucking crazy. But there are 2 very fucking easy bosses that you can do early in that area that give a lot of experience that you can cheese. You can cheese for free with fucking poison arrows. And they drop like 90k souls and shit.
Sorry. When you mention poison arrows, I'm like thinking of, killing those giants in Sense Fortress.
Yeah.
Like when you meant poison arrows. Like
or the dragons, right? And shit like that, yeah. That you can, you have to just stand there and shoot, and that's all the shit that you do. But yeah. Basically, bows are really fucking OP, like always, because you can choose everything in the game. Still. I don't like that. Another criticism that I have is that I don't like that all the assets in the game are almost the same. All the animations are fucking recycled and shit. We already talked about this. Bleed builds, using bleed in the game, making status effects builds is really fucking OP in this game. Because you don't get as much power early game. Early game vitality is super fucking important. Vigor, okay? The HP stat is so fucking important. Only scrubs don't level up that stat. You should have it like at 40 minimum. And because of that, because you can make a really tanky build early game, and you can use status effects to carry your damage. That means that you can break the game in that way, okay? You can make it more trivial or easier. The game will still be challenging in some areas that are super fucking spiked, but if you use status effects, you can like kind of mitigate that a little bit. You can get more on the level of the boss, even if the boss is fucking
like super tanky and hard, whatever.
Yeah, even if the boss is spiked like fucking 40 levels above you, you can take him down with a status effects. Usually, there is always one status effect that they are going to be weak to. If it's not frost, it's fucking poison and or bleed or fucking
Yeah.
rot or shit like that.
Yeah, but
And by the way,
the kind of things that always have existed in like Dark Souls games, like.
no, because before there was more immune bosses actually. And in this game, like they try to, it has more a focus towards fucking status effects because they're more thematic in this game actually. The status effects all represent like an outer god actually in some way in the story of the game, which that is the element that I kind of like from the game actually. What else? I have like notes here. The game is too large and way too empty. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it is a sandbox, which is a problem with
Also,
like
the
sandbox
reward,
games.
the rewards for harder bosses, it is often nothing other than fucking souls and shit, or a fucking weapon or magic that you are not going to use, you know, at your level and shit.
So basically, instead of getting a boss soul that you then make into an item, you just get the item instead.
Yeah, but it's often super really fucking shitty, or it is nothing that you can use at your level and shit, and it's just runes and shit. And I've been playing with really fucking cheap strategies, like I told you, status effects and shit. Um, the multiplayer is fucking terrible, you know. Everything is bleed builds and fucking frost and shit.
Oh.
There is still infinites in the game. Uh,
I mean, for me, it's kind of like I've never really enjoyed Dark Souls multiplayer, so
yeah,
maybe because I'm bad at it. But
what you won't like about Elden Ring is the scale of the game. It's way too fucking big. Way too fucking big. One area takes a long fucking time to clear. If you're aiming for 100% like I am, because I'm aiming for doing every single boss in the game.
oh god,
And a lot of those bosses are repeat bosses. Okay,
Alright,
like I told you, they copy paste the same boss, just spiked up a lot of fucking times. They copy paste the same dragon a lot of fucking times, just they spike up the damage, or they switch up the damage type. Okay, instead of fire, this dragon breeds magic.
Yeah, I understand.
Like in Skyrim, right? Like fire dragon, frost dragon.
Yeah.
And then let's say poison dragon and shit.
But it must mean that there is something in the game that keeps you playing, right? If you want to get 100% and you are playing this, like
it's because I was a Souls fan, and I want to prove a point, right? That I can break the game. I like breaking this kind of games usually, and I already did basically with a great shield. Great shields are fucking OP. You know, they trivialize the PvE a lot, and you will need it actually if you ever play this game. I recommend you to make like a great shield build, and I will recommend you to use the. There is like an heavy thrusting swords now. You like the S-Stock. Remember that you used the S-Stock in Dark Souls 3?
Okay, yeah, I think so.
So now there is a heavy thrusting sword. There's a heavy thrusting sword weapon class, okay, which are like a great rapiers now, which are heavy rapiers that they build up a lot of fucking bleed damage and shit. And also another a positive aspect that I like is the fucking Ashes of War. Okay, you can change the weapon art of your weapon almost on the fly.
Oh,
you can go
to
the blacksmith and change the weapon art. Yeah, and you get them out in the open world, the new weapon arts and shit. And there is one that the bleed ones are really fucking strong to bleed bosses out, or the poison ones. The status effect ones are the best ones. Frost, bleed, and poison.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah, I'm going to make that build, that video. Sorry. I'm also going to recommend how to a noob, right? How to build up. Basically, everything early game that I recommend you to do is to put every single fucking level up on vigor until if you can reach 40 early game, that's better. And also, there are 3 viable classes, okay, in the game, because the other ones kind of suck. They start super fucking weak. Because they start with really fucking low vigor, right? HP. The only viable classes are Vagabond, which is like the knight in the previous games, Samurai, and the freaking what is it called? The Hero, the first one that you see in shit. Hero is kind of cool. I like his concept and shit. So I will recommend those classes, and I will recommend like a route to take to become OP and shit. To get all those runes that I'm talking about, the souls. And that's it. Like also the game, because it's a fucking Japanese game on PC, they are often launched super fucking suboptimized, dude.
Yeah,
I hate how yeah.
Also a reason why it probably is best to just wait for like you said, like 2 years until it goes on sale, and they have like fixed a lot of problems.
And it has all the patches and shit.
Yeah, like I let people like beta test the game for you, and then
because I don't like them. I don't like modern patch culture from game developers that they throw out games. They throw out games incomplete, right?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I have as a rule where I'm not pre-ordering any games, and I'm also not buying any new games. I'm always waiting a year or two before getting something.
The only problem with that is that a lot of viewers want to watch new games, right? And because it's the flavor of the month and shit, and you miss out on that audience, I guess. But outside that, no fucking problem. You are saving yourself money. You are fucking playing it smart. I will recommend you to do that. What you do, as a consumer, absolutely.
Yeah, and also for me, it's kind of like I'm in a mission where I want to play the games I already have. Like, so it's kind of like that was the point backlog of the first look series that I do. The whole point of that is just to go through the games I have, just to see, well, is there anything good here? Is there anything I enjoy? So, and it has been quite a lot of fun for me, just diversify, like, game experiences, even though most of them are like, wasn't that fun, but it was something new, and at least I know, like, okay, now I know, about this game, and I will try out games that I never would have tried out just judging by the name or the picture, whatever,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What I don't like about the indie games that you sometimes play in your channel is that they are fucking flash game tier, some of them, or mobile game tier and shit. Like the chicken one. The chicken one was so fucking bad.
Yeah, it was horrific. It was horrific.
It was horrific. Like, it was a fucking waste of time. Well, waste of time. Yeah, clicker. Yeah, exactly. It is a fucking waste of life, that kind of games. Anyway, really fucking quickly, another reason why Elden Ring can be the easiest Souls games is because you can get a +8 weapon super fucking early. Like a fucking, you can get a fucking upgraded weapon super fucking early in the game that you don't have to upgrade yourself. You don't have to invest resources on that shit. And you can use that for all the fucking early game bosses and fucking stomp them and shit. Anyway, that...
kind of like the Drake sword.
No, the Drake sword does not come upgraded.
Yeah, it's a really strong and beginning sword.
Yeah.
So
yeah, hella fucking strong. It has raw damage and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not as strong. The +8 weapons in Elden Ring are not as strong as getting a Black Knight weapon in Dark Souls 1 or getting the Drake sword. Honestly, it's not as good, but it is still really fucking powerful. It is still a really good, a really strong start that I'm going to recommend. Well, that's it for this topic, for Elden Cringe.
Yeah, and that is why you call the game Elden Cringe instead of Elden Ring.
I like it, but I give it like a 7 out of 10 right now, because they made all the players beta test the fucking game for FromSoft, right? It came very fucking buggy. It crashes a lot. Sometimes it doesn't load the boss fucking right. You cannot get to the boss. You have to reload the game yourself, and then the portal will appear to that you can go to the boss and shit. Shit like that, dude. There's it's kind of broken. Your hordes, when you spawn your hordes and shit, it doesn't spawn below you, but you are in the fucking riding animation. So your horse is fucking invisible and your fucking character is floating and it looks retarded and shit. I don't like that shit, So there is still a lot of fucking bugs because the game is so fucking sub-optimized, like I told you. But I don't know. Maybe in 2 years it will be like an 8 out of 10 game, and that is a good score, honestly. To me, there is no perfect game. There is no 10 out of 10s out there. Not yet, at least. All the elements would have to be super fucking good to make a 10 out of 10 game, right? You will have to have a really fucking good OST, soundtrack. The graphics must.
I mean, it must be perfect. It's kind of like
Yeah, basically, graphics is what matters the less. I care more about aesthetics. Okay, I care about more than the style that the fucking game is trying to present. But an Elden Ring has a really good fucking tasteful style to it. It's kind of based on German mythology, Nordic mythology and shit.
Yeah.
And also based on freaking typical fantasy, but it is done very fucking stylishly. There is a theme of gold and shit.
Yeah.
It's very thematic with that shit. With
like
gold
very
and,
gothic.
It's very gothic, but you're going to see it mixes a lot of architectures actually.
How would you rate it compared to other Dark Souls games? Because you said you would consider Elden Ring like a 7 out of 9, 7 out of 10, which to me sounds really good. That's a really good score.
So, yeah, because I'm being super fucking fair with it. Yeah. Like there's things that I like about the game actually.
Yeah, so compared to other Dark Souls games, like if you were to give like Dark Souls 3 and 1 or 2 a rating, where would you put them? Or not even that.
Okay, controversial fucking opinion, but my favorite one is Dark Souls 2. Okay, the specifically the Scholar of the First Sin version of the game, because I think that it mechanically, gameplay wise, it teaches you a lot of things. It teaches you not to panic roll. It teaches you how to play well every other single fucking Dark Souls game. Okay, I like that. I absolutely fucking love that, and I like the challenge because I am already experienced at the Souls games. I like to join the Covenant of the Champions early on in the game in Dark Souls 2, and it makes the game twice as fucking hard. Everything deals twice damage and shit, and you deal twice as less damage to them. And basically, the game becomes new game plus and shit. I love that shit. I like the challenge. Thematically, what Dark Souls, the environments in Dark Souls 2, they are not the best ones. It has for the era that it came out, it probably has the worst graphics. But there are some areas that are fucking beautiful, like Majula or fucking Katie Tower of Flame. Those places are fucking beautiful, okay? Forest of the Giants is ugly, and some other places are really fucking ugly, like the fucking... Not the gutter, I actually like the gutter. But like Huntsman Corpse, it's called, okay? That fucking area with the Coliseum at the top and shit, that fucking place is ugly. No. The Fire Castle, I fucking love the fucking Fire Castle. I love it. I don't know why, dude. It reminds me about fucking Bowser's Castle in Super Mario and shit. And I think it's very original that it's at the top of a tower. Even if it doesn't make sense geographically, I love that shit. That the world is like a dream or some shit like that. That it makes no sense. I fucking love that fucking feeling. Then, after Dark Souls 2, okay, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, it is Dark Souls 1, the second best game, in my opinion.
Yeah. So far... I agree with you. So far, I agree with your list. Yeah. I also think Dark Souls 2 is... I mean, if I were...
Most people hate on that one, actually. It's like the black sheep of the series.
Yeah,
but I like it because it's original.
Yeah, because the Dark Souls game I've replayed the most. If I were to go back and play a Dark Souls game, I would play Dark Souls 2. I would say the game I got the most enjoyment of was probably Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
But that was the first Dark Souls game I ever played.
Yeah.
Like it was completely new to me. Like I'd never played a game like Dark Souls. It was like very new. And that's also why I liked Dark Souls 2. It felt different.
Yeah, it feels original. And the only problem with Dark Souls 2 is the early game, actually. It starts like kind of weak and then it picks up and then it starts picking up a lot and shit. And it gets better and better, okay? It's fucking apex point is on the DLCs, actually. It has the best fucking DLCs of all the fucking series. The DLCs are not like fucking stupid ass long, but they are like they're like a Pokemon Coliseum length, I guess, relative to Dark Souls, okay? Relative to fucking Dark Souls. They're like they are short enough to be enjoyable, and they are beautiful enough to be like a really nice a really nice theme, conceptually and shit.
Yeah.
Because you go to the fucking fallen kingdoms, of the past and shit. You go to a lot of fucking made up kingdoms
Yeah,
by
it
the
has
team and
good
shit.
DLCs.
It has really really good DLCs, the best ones. One is a tower, the other one is an ice plane, is an ice place, and the other one is like a poison place with that has like Zelda like puzzles and shit. It is the only game that has done like that has mixed it up Zelda with Dark Souls in a really good way. It has puzzles, finally, some shit like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the second best is Dark Souls 1 for me. The only problem is that I replayed that game, Andreas, and it was way too fucking easy because I already know what to do. The Drake Sword, the Black
Yeah.
Knight weapons. It also feels feels in a way too fucking linear, and too easy, and also like kind of dreadful and shit. What you were going to say about Dark Souls 1? Do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
it isn't a game that I would replay. Like, I have no interest in replaying Dark Souls 1. I mean, basically, I played Dark Souls 1 once, and that was on camera.
Yeah.
And then I
And
haven't played it.
it is your best Let's Play, by the way, in my
I
opinion, so far.
agree. And that's also why I feel like I wouldn't put it as my favorite. To the fact that I have no interest in replaying it. Like,
The problem is its replay value.
yeah.
I like how short it is, though. It is very fucking short, and that is like a good length for a game. It feels like arcadey. You can fucking finish it in one sitting when you know where everything is at, right? But yeah, like it has that problem. Okay, I replayed that game and it doesn't feel like as hype. The older times that you replay that game.
Yeah. Well, anyway, your
Eh,
third. Now, this is where I'm getting interesting. Would you consider Dark Souls 3 better or Elden Ring better? Like, which one of those?
Elden, Elden Ring, honestly, Elden
Elden
Ring.
Ring,
Okay.
alright.
Well, oh my god, dude. Uh, well, I fucking hate the open world of Elden Ring, but Dark Souls 3 is also very fucking open, dude. And all the fucking open areas of Dark Souls 3 are really fucking annoying.
Because for me, when I try to replay Dark Souls 3, like, I
Yeah, you get
was.
like a fucking gag, disgusted fucking reaction out of yourself,
Yeah,
You go like, no, no, I don't fucking want to
like,
do
I was
this,
very
like,
bored and I was kind of like, I don't actually enjoy this game. So to me,
yeah.
Dark Souls 3, I mean, the first time I played it, don't remember how I felt during my Let's Play because actually I've forgotten almost everything about Dark Souls 3 other than the fact that I don't like the game. But I don't remember what I felt the first time I played it. Like, I think I felt like, you know what? It's okay. Like, and I feel like that's where I would put Dark Souls 3. Like a 5 out of 9 game. I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
bad. Wouldn't say it's good. It just exists.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's probably the worst game that FromSoft has made. Maybe, because it was so generic. It was not trying to be anything new like Dark Souls 2 to have its own identity, right? It was trying to be just to live in the shadow of Dark Souls 1, basically. And it even has like fucking the blacksmith, right? Like Andrea of Astora and shit, and a lot of fucking recycled characters that don't make sense, living on that era, actually. Anyway, so my third game would be actually Demon Souls. I played that game. I didn't finish it though. So it's kind of unfair to put that game there. But it's really good because there's only one bonfire in that game for each level that you are at. It is kind of like the first fucking Super Mario games. The Super Mario games for the NES. It has level 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4,
Okay.
1-5, and then it ends, right? It is like that, and it is a very linear game. Okay, the worlds themselves that you go, for example, you go to world 1, 2, and shit. It is more open, right? The levels are more open and shit, but they are ultimately linear. Okay, you grab everything from those areas and shit, and then you move to 1-3 and shit.
Yeah. Like,
Uh,
it's levels.
Yeah, it's levels basically, and I kind of like that, and also the theme of the game is also like eldritch and shit. It's very creative. It is about that demons have returned to the world because of demon magic and shit. Because of an eldritch fucking being that looks like a fucking tree and shit. And humans in that world believe that they are doing the fucking will of God, that their miracles, faith-based magic in that game comes from God, and sorcery-based magic comes from the demons and shit. But ultimately, it all comes from this fucking demonic being, this eldritch beast that looks like a tree. Both of their powers come from the same fucking source, but they believe that that theirs is holy and theirs is completely demonic, even though both are completely demonic powers and shit. So the church there is like believes in the wrong fucking thing basically.
All right.
Yeah, they believe that really their source of their power is good. It's godlike and shit, and it's not. It's demonic as well. Um, Anyway, so there's also like a theme to Demon Souls that is very Buddhist, and I like that. Finally they picked up another culture that is not just European, even though the game is very fucking European as well. Um, it has a more Buddhist theme to it, because there are the fucking monumentals, they are called it, something like that, and there are dudes, men and women as well, that are meditating to keep this demon, this eldritch beast at bay, but they are keeping him away from not reaching their world basically by meditation and shit. They are fighting him mentally, some shit like that. So I like the theme and the story of Demon Souls actually, even though it's kind of vague. As
I
Miyazaki
understand.
always makes his stories and shit. So that will be my third. Then my fourth, that will be like probably Dark Souls 3. The
Yeah,
worst one.
and we
It will
can
be Dark Souls.
understand. And then
You know,
Elden Ring. All right.
No, sorry. Yeah, you're right. After Demon Souls is Elden Ring, and then Dark Souls 3. So
Yeah.
it will be like number one, Dark Souls 2, number two, Dark Souls 1, then number 3, Demon Souls, then number 4, Elden Ring, then number 5, Dark Souls 3. There
Yeah.
you go, like that. And I haven't played Sekiro. I need
Yeah.
to play Sekiro, and then I can rank it somewhere. But that is not exactly a Souls game.
Yeah. And I'm kind of thinking like of the Dark Soulish game. So, and I
And also
completely
Bloodborne.
forgot Demon Souls. I mean, I never played it, but
It's an emulator if you ever want to, beat it and shit. And the classic version is better than the remake.
yeah.
That won't come out for PC anytime soon anyway.
Um, but is that
So
all?
yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, probably that's all of about Elden Ring and Dark Souls. I think.
Yeah. That was a really big topic.
Anyways, and then there was miniature painting, which I've gotten
Yeah.
a bit more motivation the last couple of days to start painting.
Yeah, I saw your inspirations and I really like them.
Yeah.
Like I told you, in that comment, brown elves are super fucking underrated. They are super fucking
Yes,
good.
they are really.
It's one of the best things that came out of Japanese culture. They elaborated on the myth of the elf, right? And they made them brown and shit, and they made them sexier and whatnot. And it's pretty cool. And also, your inspiration on the Atlantis girl and shit. I don't remember her name, Kiana, whatever the fuck.
I don't remember
Uh,
her name as well.
White hair with brown skin looks good.
Yeah.
And that blue that is like sapphire or something like that, that blue that really pops off that they use, looks cool
Yeah, kind of
as
like
well in my
this
opinion.
teal, these like bright teal blues.
It's not exactly teal, no, 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 no. It's more like royal blue and shit, like ocean blue and shit. But it's really fucking good. Looks pleasant. But that's it. That's all your inspiration. Did you already start painting, by the way?
Yeah, I've started painting, and I'm doing like I recorded a video yesterday, like a hobby
Nice.
update that I'm probably just gonna upload it after this
By the
recording
way,
and
could
then
you
release it
could you
tomorrow.
multitask? By the way, this is just a fucking question that I have, right now in my mind. Could you multitask painting and talking at the same time in a podcast or not? Yeah, or not? That is like too much. That is too much hindrance for you, or not?
I think I can do so. I mean, I've painted and done reactions. Like for
Mm.
example, when I did that live stream of me watching Cuties, I was
Yeah.
painting. So
the controversial fucking Netflix series.
which I don't understand why it was controversial. To be fair, to me it's like it's like a
Yeah,
5 out of 9
it's just because
movie.
it's because
Like
of the fucking title. It's because of the fucking title, Cuties, and it's implying the little girls and shit, and because there is actually kind of pedophilia on Hollywood and shit, and on France and shit.
yeah, but the
Because
actual
of
movie itself, I thought, I mean,
you already know who fucking American elites are at, right? Because of it was they released that series or whatever the fuck it is, the movie, close to the Epstein event and shit. What happened with Epstein and all that shit. So all that shit was more on the minds of people, which is true.
which is the
American elites
perfect
are
time
really
to
fucking shady
release
and shit.
it. The perfect time to release it. Because of what the story of the movie is. I mean, I don't think the movie is that good, and I mean, I wouldn't recommend people watch Cuties, but I don't know. To me, it's kind of like I think the outrage for the movie is like overplayed.
People are always going to have like grievances about fucking media and shit. Anyway, on to the final topic. Finally, the politics shit. So I would like to apologize because in my video I opened up by saying in the last podcast, okay, I opened up by saying that no war was going to happen and shit, and it did.
Yeah. I mean,
I was wrong there.
I think we both thought, like for me, I thought there isn't going to be a war. Like I also thought that.
I was right on something though. NATO didn't got in. It didn't got
Yeah,
in any
I
meaningful
mean,
way. Okay, they are just fucking selling weapons and shit. What America wants to do is basically keep the military industrial complex going, right? Because they see clientele, they are selling all their old shit, that they are not going to use to Ukraine, to this country,
well,
which I don't think that NATO has in mind that Ukraine is going to win in any
no,
meaningful
no,
way. They
no.
know that they are going to lose territory, absolutely. I
Yes.
don't think that the generals from NATO uh, think that there is any way that Ukraine can win this.
Nope.
Okay,
I mean,
maybe it can
it is.
hold some territory. Maybe it can hold territory. Maybe it can hold Kiev and shit.
Yeah.
But they know that they are going to lose their eastern side at least.
Yes, and I mean, it also is about just draining Russia of money and causing
Uh-huh.
political unrest. I mean, the longer the war goes, Russia doesn't have the best economy. It doesn't
Yeah,
have.
Russia loses resources. Maybe it gains territory, but it costs a lot of fucking
Yeah,
shit lot of money,
I mean,
right?
I
It's
think.
more like a Pyrrhic victory, like a
Yeah,
Pyrrhic victory and shit.
yeah. I mean, I would
Uh,
say that the war, if how long the war has gone, I would say Russia has already lost, quote
Resources, yes.
unquote,
Well,
like not only
uh,
resources but also like political points.
if you see war as a fucking contest for territory, no, and only that, right? Like I want to expand my country's influence and bigness and shit and army, whatever the fuck. Then Russia is winning, right? But
No,
it's losing
even
resources,
there, I
yes.
would say no because I mean, in nowadays it doesn't fucking matter. Like expanding like a few your borders a bit, like
No, it matters for Russia, Andreas, because what they don't want, remember, right?
yeah, they don't want NATO
They
missiles there. I understand. They
yeah,
want a
yeah, exactly.
buffer
The buffer
zone.
territory, exactly,
Yeah, they want a
exactly.
buffer zone, but they have that buffer like with modern technology. That's what I'm saying. Modern technology, those little gains, their little buffer zones they're making, doesn't really matter that much.
They matter because if NATO were to develop the supersonic missiles, they could reach Moscow very fucking easily. Even with fucking anti-air, anti-missile fucking defenses, right?
Yeah, but what I'm
They cannot
saying
fucking stop
is
them in
the
time.
buffer zone they have, like the buffer zone they're gonna gain, even if they
Yeah.
let's say they got the entirety of Ukraine,
Uh-huh.
I don't. It's not big enough. It's not with modern missiles and all that.
Well,
Like
I don't think it's big enough because of this. Okay, hear me out. Because NATO can still put fucking missiles in fucking Estonia and shit like that, or in
exactly
Finland,
that.
and shit. And those places are closer to Moscow than Ukraine itself. That is the fucking problem here. There's
Yes.
just
So we
Russia's
agree.
still missing fucking
So
Estonia.
we
Okay,
agree
basically.
that the extra territory is worthless. It means nothing.
It's not that it's worthless. It's meaningful, but there are other territories that can matter. a fuckload still, okay? Like Estonia, for example. They could put fucking missiles there and shit. If this is the fucking fear that Russia has, okay, they need more buffer than that. They need much more fucking buffer than that. Um, but whatever, okay, let's see how that shit goes. Also, both sides have been making a lot of fucking propaganda, obviously. You know, have you heard of the fucking ghost of Kiev and shit? The
Nope.
fucking supposed they made a character, you know, the Ukrainians, a jet pilot that didn't exist,
No,
and
I
they use
haven't
it
heard
fucking.
of any. I haven't heard of that. I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't followed the war.
No, yeah, it's really fucking. It's what you expect. Okay, it's not really that entertaining. The Ghost of Kiev was a fucking they fucking recorded footage from Arma 3, the video game. The jets that are in that game, you know.
In which
And the game
game?
has Arma 3.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like a military simulator and shit. You know, it's like a first person shooter mil sim they call them.
All
It has
right.
really good graphics, you know, and but you can still tell that the fucking plane in the video is fucking is rendered. You know, it's not real and shit.
Yeah.
It's from fucking Arma 3. And they call it that guy the Ghost of Kiev and shit. You know, oh, he's liberating Ukraine and shit. And you know, they have to create heroes because they are on the defensive pretty much. Um, Obviously, you know, there have been a lot of fucking Russian casualties, obviously, but Russia has a bigger population, you know, and also you can tell that Ukraine is losing because they are the ones who began the draft earlier. Okay, the Russians haven't started drafting their population for the war. It's only the Ukrainians. Okay, they are on the defensive. They are on fucking crisis mode and shit. They already lost Mariupol, which is a really fucking big coastal city, and they have like the Azov battalion, you know, the super radicalized Nazis that were really good fighters. Honestly, they were really good soldiers. In the sense that they were super fucking merciless and shit, you know. They were the most the strongest ones, you know, the the best soldiers for shock tactics and shit. They already fucking cornered in a fucking in a sub astal, it's called, like in a steel plant, in a steel mill plant and shit. And they are like inside bunkers and shit, and they're running out of food. The Russians fucking have them surrounded. They don't plan on pressuring on them, you know, on invading their fucking bunker and shit, because it's not worth it. Okay, they're going to run out of resources, and they're going to come out
Yeah.
and get
I mean,
arrested
basically
or
siege. It's just a siege.
yeah, yeah, it's not worth to do a siege at this point. You know, you have your enemy surrounded. It's better to wait him to starve.
Yeah. That it is a siege. That's what it means. You know, you're just sieging.
Ah, oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
Just
it is the same concept. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Just
You have them hold inside the castle, and then
just wait for them to starve.
yeah, attrition. It wins the fucking that fight. You know, it saves you from fighting. You know, a
Yeah.
longer fucking battle and losing people and shit. Also, what I don't like is the fucking Ukrainian propaganda that early on in the war they were saying that they were killing a lot of fucking generals and shit, and they said that they killed Kadyrov, you know, the Chechen guy that
I don't know who that is.
it's some blonde Chechen guy with blue eyes and shit that Putin likes a lot. Okay, that he has him appointed, you know, to be the general of the Chechen army and shit. And they said that that guy died, but it was bullshit. He's still alive, you know, and he's still, you know, fighting in that war and shit,
Yeah.
you know, giving orders and whatnot. And the Chechens are still, you know, doing their job and whatnot. And they are still not wiped out, you know. Thanks to the Chechens, actually, Mariupol was conquered. And there is a lot of fucking censorship as well, you know. If you talk too much about Russia in a positive light, not on YouTube exactly, but on Twitch, I saw two streamers get banned because of that, because they were giving the news from Russian sources, from Intel Slava and shit, from Telegram, right? I don't know if you have a Telegram, okay? But Telegram is an alternative news network, you know, or an alternative social media that is very
Okay.
similar
Yeah.
to Discord, but yeah. Basically, they have to use alternative media because mainstream media, Twitter, and those fucking places are fucking banning everything that does not appeal to a neoliberal, you know, narrative, right? They're
I
starting to
mean,
get
they are
more.
part of the CIA arms and all that.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
propaganda. I think what
It's
obviously would
propaganda
be
versus
best.
propaganda. Okay, I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying that the Russians are not making fucking propaganda,
Yeah, everyone.
but
But the thing is, for me, is that you should be allowed to watch all propaganda. Like,
yeah, I agree.
there
Like
shouldn't be censorship, especially in the
there is always
West.
going to
We're
be
supposed to be
censorship with
anti-censorship, whatever.
under dictatorship, quote
Yeah,
unquote, and
just
shit.
let people.
Anti-oligarchy and shit, but the West has oligarchies as well, right?
Yeah.
They claim not to have those things, and they claim to be super fucking free, and not really, right? They have elites, they have fucking oligarchies, they have a narrative fucking control and shit.
Yeah.
It's always the same fucking shit. I actually think that the standard government of a country is an oligarchy. Actually, an oligarchy always develops. Okay, corrupt or not. Okay, corrupt or not, it always fucking develops. Ideally, it wouldn't be corrupt and shit. You will have wise people on the top. Ruling the others in a really fucking smart way, like philosopher kings and shit. Not in a really corrupted, hedonistic king way and shit. For themselves, absolutely and shit, because we basically pay taxes for them, right? And we don't want that shit to happen. We want taxes to go to things that are rational, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what been happening and shit. What else? Putin looks more stressed, I guess. But I guess he got this. The problem is that yes, this is going to absolutely be like a Pyrrhic victory for Russia. It's going to cost them a lot. But is it worth it? I would say that yes, and because they have already been pushed to the fucking wall, pretty much, and they felt like there is no option at this point. We are going to.
I would say it's not gonna be worth it, but I understand why they're doing it. It's like a death throw. It's like they've been pushed into a corner and.
All or nothing at this point. We fight tooth and claw, or we fucking die, and that's it. Or Russian civilization gets fucking submitted to Western powers. This is how they are thinking about it. Okay, at least for them, right? Their side of the narrative is if they don't do this, they fall prey to the West, and that's it. And then they will no longer be able to have their hegemony in that region. They will no longer be able to have an Orthodox Russian civilization in the same way. They will have to become more neoliberal, which they already kind of were, actually. Yes. Russia is kind of culturally is more liberal, for example, than say China, definitely.
Yes, they have become like in the later years. They did become more, like
westernized. Yeah.
No. I'm talking. They actually became more like Orthodox Christian. They became more like what would you? I wouldn't say it radical. But I would say more
nationalistic, I guess, more like Russian.
Yeah, I would say it became less liberal.
Yeah,
kind of like how Turkey used to be pretty liberal, and with the years it's becoming less and less and less. With Erdogan and all that, becomes less and less liberal. More.
I think that this is happening because also the influence of the U.S. is dwindling slowly, slowly but steadily, right? And countries that used to be allies or at least influenced by the U.S. are now looking for alternatives, to make their own identities, to make their own, to define the world in their way. I kind of like that. Okay, we are going to the multipolar world era and shit. Like I already told you in the past podcasts, right?
I don't know. To me, I understand what you mean. Like not everything is neoliberal, whatever. However, I don't like it. Like, it doesn't have to be neoliberal. I'm talking about liberty in the sense of, like, for example, in Turkey, and even in Russia, like, it used to be a little bit more free, in a sense. In the fact that, like, let's say...
Even in the West, by the way, the West is becoming less free as well.
Yeah.
They are censoring opinions and shit. Like, I believe that every time that countries are competing with each other, they become more authoritarian. They show their fucking, their teeth, okay? Like, this is how they are at their core. Okay, this is how they define themselves. When you push a country to the corner and shit, or when they are competing in war and shit, for territory, whatever the fuck, influence, etc., or resources, they become more fucking nationalistic. They become more authoritarian, etc., etc., etc. The opinion of the other side is going to be censored in some way. That's what I think. Okay,
even the West also not only that, you're gonna look like, for example, let's say the West. Are going to be like, hey, we're going to start censoring conservatives a bit more because our enemies are very conservative. And then Russia will be like, we're going to start censoring liberals and gay people, whatever, a lot more because the West are more of that.
More liberal. And that's true. Yeah. The more you resemble the enemy of that nation, the more that is going to be censored, right? Because Russians are conservative. now social media absolutely, in its complete sense, hates conservatives and shit. Because, for example, the people that are more against America influencing this war, selling weapons to them and shit, and getting involved in this war, that happened during Joe Biden's terms, right? Right?
Yeah, all conservatives.
Are the conservatives? The conservatives are the most,
Or at least specifically like the libertarian conservatives.
yeah,
Because I
yeah,
mean,
more
you
so
obviously
those.
have like the
No,
neocon,
yeah, not the
the
ones in Congress.
fucking
Yeah,
super like Christian whatever, like that love
like John
war and
McCain, like fucking
destruction.
John McCain and shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
John
like
McCain, right?
yeah, but like kind of like yeah, that type of McCain is dead now, but that type of American politicians.
Then George Bush and shit, George Bush, John McCain and shit, like
Yeah,
that type of, yeah. I get it.
like probably like the majority of conservatives in the House.
Yeah, in the Senate are like that. Yes, definitely. They have
Yeah,
like the neocons and neoliberals. Yeah, that is the problem of America right now. Kind of. They are being pulled into many wars that they cannot really win, or that they don't finish. They don't
yeah,
finish those wars and shit.
and I
And
mean,
would you like if England in the future took a more European turn to itself, right? Like if it disassociated more from the U.S. influence, which I don't think is going to happen any fucking time soon. You will have to have a revolution in the fucking political system to pull that shit off. Okay, but let us assume that shit happens. Okay, not a physical revolution, but
I
politically.
mean,
Another
I would
party gets
say
elected,
like
all the fucking elites
I
get replaced.
what I would want is that I don't. Oh, well, I don't give a fuck. But what I would want is for them to be less authoritarian. To be. That's pretty much it. Like, be more liberal.
I,
Like,
I,
and when I mean actual liberty.
Yeah, yeah. In the original sense of the word of
Yeah,
liberalism.
like,
It's what you mean, yeah. I get everything that you're saying. Okay, I'm not fucking ignorant. But yeah.
yeah. So
Uh,
that's pretty much my whole thing. Like, I think as long as people can live their lives like without censorship, whatever, that's pretty much it for all places. Like, I don't care that much about others. Like, like
and also you wish them welfare, some fucking state of welfare,
yeah. I
Uh,
mean,
uh, bottom
I
line, I
would say
guess.
that I'm like a social capitalist or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, sure,
You're
that's what
more
I am.
pragmatic. No, yeah, yeah, but what I'm saying is like I think, okay, I will recommend for England to be more oriented towards Europe in the future, okay? If the multipolar world happens, as soon as I would like, okay? Then I will recommend England to take that route, okay? It should fucking abolish the fucking monarchy first of all, because that monarchy is probably the one of the worst ones in the fucking world, in my opinion. Even though supposedly they are fucking how do you call them, the tycoons, they move money, into the country and shit, but no, they are taking the taxes of the people, for fuck's sake. You're like the fucking monarchy is the worst fucking part about
And
England.
also the culture that brings. I mean, the whole thing, like,
Well, look, there is a monarchy that I like. There is only one that I like. Well, actually two. The one of Jordan seems to work really fucking well in the Middle East, and the number two that I like is it's pretty much useless right now, but its people fucking love it. Okay, it won't be abolished any fucking time soon because of the whole fucking history that it has, and that is the monarchy of Japan. Okay, the Japanese emperor and that shit. Like the Japanese don't want to fucking take him down.
I mean,
Out.
yeah. I mean, the Japanese one and the Swedish one are pretty much the same. Like, they have no
Yeah.
constitutional power. They are basically
Uh,
just figureheads.
if
Like,
the Japanese could, they will fucking put the emperor in power again. Honestly, because their monarchy was forced upon them by the U.S. and shit. So the actual government that the Japanese people would like to have, it will be a fucking empire.
I
Honestly,
don't think
you know.
so.
Do you think that they have got used to the democracy
Yeah, and
really
I don't think they would want
to reverse it to that?
a actual like maybe they care about the imperial family as like a history thing or something. Like
Yeah, symbolic.
it's yeah, it's symbolic. It's our culture, but I don't think they would want them actual in power making decisions.
I'm not sure because, for example, I don't know if you know that Chizo Abe, right? The
Yeah.
that guy that was in power for so many fucking years. Okay,
Yeah,
because
like former like
the Japanese,
conservative party leader.
yeah, the Japanese don't really have a democracy. Okay, it's like a fake democracy actually. They play around with it a lot. Okay, it's always the same party that wins the LPD. Okay, the Liberal Party of Japan and shit, or whatever the fuck it's called,
I
Liberal
mean,
Democratic Party. It's called.
yeah.
And they they appoint leadership. Okay, remember when it was this fucking guy, the one that worked in a fucking strawberry farm and shit, and then they switched him up for a fucking military background guy now in Japan. Now the prime minister is another fucking guy that the LPD appointed. And it's really fucking weird, okay? Politics in Japan are really fucking weird. They are kind of rigged. They are very,
I
very fucking
mean,
rigged.
that's
Some of
kind
the
of like
imperial, some of the imperial times still remain in that democracy, if you know what I mean. I'm going to say, really fucking quickly that if the multipolar world happens and new blocks of power happen and all that shit, I would like there to be a Western European one, and which will be mainly managed by France and Germany, okay? Because there is no way for Europe not to be France and German centric, because those are the biggest powers that are in that
I mean, those two countries are
locality, right?
over half the population.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Also bigger populations, more engineering, etc., more industry, etc. And also, I would prefer if the UK, instead of being so fucking Anglosphere centric, I would prefer them to go European centric in this sense, okay? Like make like a coalition, England, Germany, and France. And those three can be like the main powerhouses of Europe, right? And then the ones more in the, how do you call it, the periphery, I guess, like the ones outside and shit. Sweden and all those places, are like coalitions to that, I guess.
to me, I'm against all of that. Like, I would not want that. I would want
You
everyone to
would prefer
be.
like a
Yeah,
local
I mean, I would
neutral Sweden. Yeah.
go back to states. I mean, I think even the EU is too like the EU is too Germany centric. It's like,
Yeah. We already talked about this, yeah.
yeah, So I think doing it more and more like that, it's no. Like I, like maybe it's my Greek blood. Maybe it's my Greek
Does
blood in me that's like, no,
yeah.
we need city states.
Okay. Does Sweden does not benefit in any fucking way from the EU or what? Or
No, I mean, we do benefit from the trade and all that, obviously.
that's
The
what I'm
free
saying. What I'm
trade,
saying.
the free, like, for example, like, I don't need a passport to travel to other countries in the EU. Like,
Yeah.
so, yeah, like, there are benefits and there are negatives. However, I would not
And
want to
a lot of
expand the
that
EU.
wealth is a lot of that wealth is going to Germany. It is ending up in Germany. That would be like the negative, I guess. Well, I don't know. I'm not European, so.
But I wouldn't want to expand EU. So
Hmm.
I think, I mean, even the way it is now, I think it's too much.
Really? So like no UK in the EU, for example.
No, I mean more of their powers.
Ah, okay.
Like, I wouldn't want to expand their powers. But I also think the EU leaving the EU, the European, the
Union, yeah.
UK leaving the European
Oh,
Union, I think was a
Brexit,
good
yeah.
thing.
What is the take on that? Why? Yeah,
It put some
you don't
pressure
like
on
the.
them to be like, okay, we should trap it down with our want
So
to
basically,
expand and expand, because the EU are basically
uh,
trying to create the United States, like the United States of Europe.
okay, and that would suck. That would fucking suck. Like the same neoliberal type of rule in Europe is what you mean, yeah. Instead of more.
That's basically what the EU is striving to become.
Yeah, yeah. So like the planning itself is not the bad thing, okay? That free trade between the countries, that's cool, and being able to travel between all the European countries, that's cool as well, right?
Yeah,
But you would say that the biggest fucking negative is the policy that they have behind, right? That they want to be neoliberal as fucking shit. So that's why the EU is not a good thing. They should be something else. They should have another fucking ideal behind them, interlinking them, right?
yeah, like
I get
they
it.
want to
Yeah.
become basically the feds. And like in America, you have like state laws
Yeah.
and you have federal laws. That's kind of like how it is in Europe. And
Okay.
there was
I
talks
I
that they were
I
gonna
didn't knew
make
that,
an
by the way.
European Union army, like God no.
I had a more positive view of the EU, initially, but you have changed my mind, maybe, it sucks, it fucking sucks. It needs to be fucking disbanded, and maybe they can make another fucking European coalition, right? Another European
Yeah. I don't know if I
thing to
would
unite with, right? But
like
it has to be another fucking ideal behind it, right? It cannot
yeah.
be neoliberalism and shit.
I mean, I don't think the European Union needs to be disbanded. I just think its powers need to be reined in a bit. Like you should keep it like it was intended to be, purely an economical, like free trade thing.
And traveling between the countries and shit.
Yeah, and a way to keep like to make it so living standards between the European Union countries go up. That was the initial plan for it.
Yeah.
And to try and make it so that the European Union could compete with the US, China, and Russia when it comes to like resources and all
the
that.
Empires.
Yeah,
because alone every country is not as powerful as united. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the point.
Obviously.
But obviously, like what happens with these things is that become like over bureaucratic, and then it's kind of like
corrupted, oligarchic, liberal,
and they need to do certain things. They need to try and get more and more power to justify their existence.
So it's too late, for the EU to kind of be redeemed in most places right now. The UK rejected it for a reason. Now I see. Okay, that's all I want to know, I guess. Thank you for the information, I didn't know. So we can wrap the podcast up. At this point.
Do you want to do an intro this time? Oh, outro.
Well, I can say just take care, guys. Thank you for listening. Thanks a lot. If more people want to come to these podcasts, hit Andreas up or myself, and give me a DM. Throw me a private message, and I will tell you what you can do. We have to set up a date range that we all have to be awake at, and then do this shit. It will be really fucking cool with 3 people, actually.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
So that's it. Take care and have a good day.
Goodbye.